Bonjour, this is Véro, still traveling in Western France this summer and sharing with you what I see every day. We are in Biarritz, a popular resort on the Atlantic French coast. In the distance over there, I see Spain and the Pyrenees. The beautiful Atlantic Ocean. I came here to a neighborhood known as the Port Vieux, the old harbor, and in the distance, on the left, you do see what was once, at some point, a fishing harbor, a long, long time ago, as early as the Middle Ages, in fact. Picture whales coming in these waters, being hunted down, and then at low tide, fishermen dragging them over there, taking them apart, and they would use everything, the skin, the bones. This kind of went down and disappeared at the end of the 17th century. And after that, the port was still there, but it became very popular to bathe in the ocean. They believed that it was good for you to bathe in the ocean, especially the choppy and wild Atlantic Ocean. So another activity developed. The port is all gone today. It's a beach. When locals say le Port Vieux, they are talking about this little beach. But this was part of the dream of a French emperor named Napoleon III. Those who visit Paris have heard a lot about him already, but it's very interesting to know that his influence didn't stop on Paris, and that he also modified, transformed places where he and his wife, Empress Eugenia, who came from Spain and loved this area where she vacationed as a child. They both came here every summer for almost 20 years for the duration of the Second Empire in the second half of the 19th century. And they really transformed this place. So Napoleon III had the dream to connect this section where I'm standing to the old port I just showed you, the port that's not there anymore. The Virgin that you see on top of the rock was placed there to protect sailors on their way home. Eventually, the ocean destroyed part of the structure that was erected here to connect the old harbor to this part, to this section. And of course, what really stopped everything was when Napoleon III was defeated against Prussia in 1870. But because he had allocated a lot of money to this project, locals were able to use some of the money to build another harbor, the Sailors' Harbor, which I showed you in another video. Over there you see what we would refer to probably as downtown Biarritz. A lot of concrete and tall buildings around the casino. And in the distance, the red building is what's left of the former Villa Eugenia Villa, where the Empress lived. It burned down at the beginning of the 20th century and they replaced it with a hotel, and that's what it is today. In fact, it's currently closed and will be closed until 2021 to undergo a renovation. But behind those rocks, where those tall buildings are some pretty famous beaches. And there are surfers out there, as everywhere it seems around Biarritz. I still haven't discovered those beaches. I want to go check it out. The downtown ones I visited yesterday, and they were literally packed with people. La Grande Plage, the big beach or the large beach, was packed. So I'm hoping to find the ones where surfers go and there aren't that many people. But it's very easy to see how the story of, or the history of Biarritz is connected to sailing. You see this cross here? You see a lot of signs dedicated to sailors who never made it home. I'll get closer to the Virgin so you can see her a little better. And the lonely seagull perched on her head. The walkway that you see now, made of metal, replaced the wooden walkway that time and the ocean eventually destroyed. So tourists, visitors can come here still. Biarritz is one of the cities that has made wearing face masks mandatory in August in all the streets downtown, outdoors. And they've been mandatory in all indoor public places for a little longer than that. The Lighthouse is in the distance, and the mighty Atlantic Ocean. Quite happy to see it again, in fact. The Virgin, watching over sailors, and sailors would come back this way today because the harbor they built after the old one disappeared is in this direction behind those big rocks. There's a great walkway that you can follow in Biarritz along the ocean. I see a lot of people running and exercising, but you can also walk, and during the day it's going to be packed with people, so I'm really glad I came early. I see paddle boarders over there, and some great swimmers who are not afraid of the currents. Though the firemen on their jet ski are watching over them, I see them down there. And like I said, in the distance, Spain, the rest of the Basque Country, the coastal part of the Basque Country and the Pyrenees. Many other beautiful little towns to explore. So I am now headed to Le Port Vieux, the old harbor. I'm going to try and picture what it looked like as a harbor, which would have been connected eventually to the place where I'm standing in the 19th century. Thank you for joining me today. As you know, I share my travels every day in social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, under Friends with Véro, and on YouTube, where this guided video walk or video tour will be featured with the rest of the tours I have filmed this summer. So I know it's hard right now to travel in Europe. It can be challenging to make it here, but if you enjoy some virtual traveling, please pay me a visit. Thank you for joining me. À bientôt.